There is power behind every story we carry within. Every tragedy, no, yes, laugh, victory. And every testimony that is incubated within our souls have power. The power to transform, from tragedy to crown, from obstacle to opportunity. And all the moments in between make us wiser. Watch Candid Conversations with Charisa for impactful, unheard moments that will certainly spark your power and inner truth to shift, heal, and restore your life. It's time to get real, uncover, unlock, unpack, set free, and increase the dialogue to change a life. We all start somewhere and end in places of destiny. Get ready for the long-awaited Candid Conversations with Charisa.
So you want to talk about racism, huh? I've been very skimpy with my words and expressions publicly during the season for the past 12 to 14 months. There's just been so much being said by so many people from all walks of life, and I just chose to listen and observe and process all that was happening and all that was being said. But in my opinion, it is all eyes and all ears are open, and everyone is now looking at a problem that existed for so long. Racism is one of those ideological concepts, not solely an issue of skin color, as it is reduced to. It is fundamentally related to the differences of opinions, the difference in thinking and methods of individuals, which fuels the varying perspectives and awareness of color, sex, religion, economic, and educational status, which results in the events and actions that we see that follows. And I've watched these ideas lead to hurt and pain and abuse and murder and ultimately hate. And an idea is such a serious, serious thing. And whether you want to agree with me or not, the world we live in is still ruled by dead men whose ideas were and are just so powerful. But guess what? Now it is the time and the season for you and me to have new ideas that will arise and take over. My dad once said to me, we have to reduce ourselves from every race to one race, and that's the human race. Because for as long as there are varying races beyond the human race, racism will always exist. And then I always get that question, what experiences do you have? And personally, I don't have any experiences or stories of racism due to the color of my skin, my eyes, or my hair. I don't walk around carrying a weight on my shoulders and my chest as a black woman from the islands living in the United States of America. If anything, I am more discriminating because of my age and the fact that I may be, but yet I look 20. But I have heard from my parents and so many people and so much of my friends, both black and white and other colors, the horror stories of being discriminated against because of their skin color. And I honestly just empathize with them, and I share in compassion because I see the trauma it has caused, even if only slight. I know there are so many of you that have similar horror stories and experiences of racism directed towards you, and it is indeed an unfortunate circumstance, but just know that you are not alone. Discrimination, prejudice, bias, chauvinism, or bigotry all boil down to the same idea directed against a person or a people based on their differences and the inability to perceive them as equal instead of being inferior or superior. For many, many, many years, racism has been a terminal disease that is rooted in hatred. The hatred of self, the hatred of others, and I dare say, the hatred of God himself. This is still very much the case to date. And in order to kill the tree, you have to destroy the root. So I have about 2 antidotes that will surely help to destroy the root of the disease of racism. Now, I'm not by any means suggesting that these will be fast-acting remedies or cause complete eradication, but the efficacy will definitely be undeniable. So I suggest these 2 solutions. 1, understanding, and 2, love. No, they are not the same. And let me discuss them both very briefly, starting with understanding. What we lack most of the time is understanding. And when that is part of the root cause of humanity's confusion, frustration, and self-destruction, there is no answer and no way out. You abuse what you don't understand. You misuse what you don't understand. You hurt what you don't understand. You ignore what you don't understand. You even kill what you don't understand. And you definitely hate what you don't understand. Usually, you despise what you don't understand for a few reasons, but because of the fear of it being number one, being uncomfortable being number two, or being unfamiliar with the unknown being number three. So when I think about wanting to kill what I don't understand and hating what I don't understand, there's a reason why. Every single time I see a cockroach, especially the ones that have wings that fly, like I instantly want to kill it. But it is because I fear for my life and I have no complete understanding of why in the world this thing would even exist. I have no understanding of the purpose. So because I don't understand, nor do I even care to understand, I therefore fear them, and I have no problem trying my endeavor best to find a broom, to find a slipper, to find a stick, to find whatever it takes to get rid of them in the worst way possible. Now let's talk about you. Imagine thinking of a fellow human as a cockroach, when they indeed are not. Someone with no significance and purpose or belonging. But to understand people is to acknowledge their differences and appreciate their likes. To understand people is to take the time to listen and learn from each other. To understand people is to go beyond the person and consider the creator and the design. To understand is to love, and that is the second solution. For hatred to be eradicated and destroyed, love must not only be present, but it must exist. Hatred and love cannot exist and be present at the same time. You are either doing one, love or hate, or you are doing the other, love or hate. It is impossible for me to sincerely sit here and wholeheartedly have love in my heart for you as another human being like myself, and then hate your guts to the point of disregarding and disowning you. The problem with racism can only truly be addressed by employing the principle behind one of the greatest commandments ever known to man. And that's love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment, and the second is just like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. Let's read further. All of the law of the prophets hang on these two commandments, to love yourself and love your neighbor as you love yourself. So sadly, this long struggle for racial equality is still very far-reaching, but it is never too late to love, and it is never too late to begin to understand. I have so much hope in a better tomorrow for my children and my children's children. I have hope for a generation that will rise up and stand on the shoulders of their forefathers and bring their vision of peace and unity to pass. The work begins with you and me, with us first, governing our own thoughts and expressions and motives. Then and only then can we expect to see a change in the world collectively. Why? Because we have first changed.